Hey guys, welcome back to Story Time with Auntie Sharon. Today we'll hear the story of Sophie the Snotty Snail and Henry the Clumsy Horse. Let's go! Now Sophie lived in a very soggy part of town, under a fallen oak tree, and she loved it. One day, however, Henry the horse moved the log Sophie was living under while trying to eat a nearby patch of grass, and all of a sudden Sophie's dark and cozy little home was filled with bright lights and dry air. "Hey! What do you think you're doing?" Sophie scolded the horse. "Eating a bit of grass, obviously. What's it to you?" the horse snapped back. "Well, you've ruined my house with that big nose of yours," Sophie replied, as she crawled off, leaving a trail of snot behind her. "Ew! Gross!" neighed the horse, who accidentally stepped in Sophie's snotty trail. "Will you watch where you're going with all that snot?" he shouted after her. But Sophie laughed in response, happy that Henry got caught in her path. "Serves you right," she said smugly. Meanwhile, Kaya, the butterfly, flew past and noticed the fight between Henry and Sophie. Kaya hated when animals fought, so flew down to see what she could do to help. "What's going on here?" she asked, her beautiful purple wings fluttering in the air. "That clumsy horse ruined my house," Sophie said. "And that snotty snail wet my hoof," Henry replied, wiping his hoof against the grass. "Oh dear," Kaya the butterfly sighed. "We'll need to find a way to figure this out." But both Sophie and Henry just let out a huff and scowled at each other. "It seems to me that while both of you hurt each other, neither of you meant to," Kaya explained, flying between the two of them. "Henry, did you mean to ruin Sophie's house?" the butterfly asked the horse, who shook his head. "No, I didn't," Henry replied calmly. "And Sophie, did you mean to wet Henry's hoof with your snail snot?" the butterfly asked the snail. Sophie blinked before replying. "I guess not," she whispered. "So now will you both please apologize to each other so that we can all be friends again?" the butterfly asked them both. Henry shuffled his hoofs, and Sophie wriggled in her shell before they both agreed and apologized. "Wonderful!" Kaya cheered, and she fluttered away, content that the forest was peaceful again. Just as Sophie was getting ready to crawl to the nearest log, Henry called out again. "Hey, Sophie, do you need help finding another home?" he offered. "Oh, yes, please," Sophie replied, ecstatic. Henry wasted no time in trotting up to the nearest tree and pulled at one of its branches. He pulled and pulled and pulled until eventually the branch snapped. Gently, he placed the branch next to where Sophie stood, and she promptly nestled under it. "Thank you, Henry," Sophie called out, snuggling in. "You're welcome," Henry replied, pleased to have been some help. And before long, Sophie and Henry became the best of friends. That little squabble of theirs soon forgotten. That's all for today, guys. Join us next time where we hear the story of Jimmy the Fast Fox. Bye-bye for now.